Hello. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Orbu, which is a nice relaxing game, so you can chill out for a little bit. I'm going to tell you a little bit about ARkit, which is Apple's AR development suite. And then we're going to have a live demo. So I'll probably get a little bit stressed at that point, because there's no more pressure than a live demo. So thanks, Brooke. I'm Dave Ranyard, and I'm the CEO of a company called Dream Reality Interactive. Clicker. Clicker's not working, guys, sorry. I'll tell you a bit about the company while we're waiting for the clicker to work. We are based in London. There's about 15 developers. A bunch of us came from the Sony PlayStation studio that I was running. I don't know why it's not working. It's a PDF, maybe that's why. OK, well, I'll just talk without the slides until we get it working. So I've got no notes or anything. We have got a pedigree in making AR and VR games. So actually, we made a game called iToy Play back in 2003, which was the first ever augmented reality game. With that, you got like a webcam, it was a PlayStation branded one, plugged it into a PlayStation 2. And then you could see yourself on the screen, and we had some very simple tech, as is now, that it understood motion tracking. So you could wave at the screen, and we could track that, and we built a bunch of games around that. It was a pretty big game at the time, 10 million units, and the PlayStation 2 got to something like 100 million units in its absolute peak. But the interesting thing with ARkit is that we're going to be close to 400 million iOS devices very soon. So the market potential is huge. OK. Slightly weird. And so we decided to start developing something for ARkit when we first learned about it. So we've been doing a lot of work with simple physics. We love the idea. Here we go. Oh, hang on. We're about 7 slides on now. OK. Oh, spoilt it. OK, right. So up here, this is the game I was talking about, iToy Play. We also made a game called SingStar, which was actually a singing game, but we used the camera feed, and we could do things like put masks on you and animate the mouths and so on. This was a very cool game we made with J.K. Rowling, the Harry Potter author, and we had an augmented reality book, so a book made of AR markers, but we could make it whatever we wanted. And then more recently, we made the biggest selling VR launch title for PlayStation VR, which was called VR Worlds. So lots of experience in this. Yay. So when we got to ARkit, we'd been experimenting with simple physics and a ball for a while, because we know that that's fun, it's very gettable, and you can create simple but enjoyable mechanics. And we decided to build platforms. So this is in our old office. We built these platforms, and you could navigate the ball around. And actually, this version we ditched because it didn't have enough challenge. And we started using a slingshot mechanic, which we'll show you in the demo. And our idea really was to navigate these platforms, have some simple mechanics, and make sure we had a very broad appeal, because it's such a huge user base. And so we came up with this. This is just a bridge. We love the idea of putting a pretend pond in, so you get some depth. And then if you can see that little ball, a bit like playing a golf game, you put your finger on the screen, pull and release, and you can direct where you're going, and you have like a power bar. And it was at this point I had a phone call with our creative director, Albert, and I said, well, what do you think the game's going to be? And he said, well, everyone has a very busy life, and it's all a bit stressful. Why don't we make something that's kind of relaxing? So I love the idea of creating a Japanese-themed garden, and then having a little creature that rolls up in a ball and navigates through the garden and knocks food in to feed the fish. Now, I've no idea where that came from, but I just thought, how cool is that? Who doesn't want to go through a lovely garden feeding fish? I know I do, and I do every day now. So, Orbu was born. And this is our new office, although it's not just ours, that's like a shared bit. So we developed this slingshot mechanic. We put in the feeding the fish, and then we sort of, as you progress through different levels, there are more and more obstacles to navigate. It's essentially a physics game with some light puzzle elements. One of the funny things I find with this, so this area is like a big atrium in the offices, and we go out there to test because there's lots of space and it's very easy. But as you get into the game, people walk across your bit, and you get quite annoyed with them because you think, hang on a minute, this is my garden. Why are you walking through my garden? Of course, they can't see it. They just see, In time, right, everybody will see the garden and they'll walk around it. So there were the core features. Then we looked at this. So actually, it's great fun to make it big, but it's not necessarily practical at all times. So we resized the play area. So here we could do a tabletop version. This is actually our menu for choosing different levels. So whichever the blue one is the currently selected level. The balls are prototypes, so they will be changed to some beautiful art assets soon. But as well as playing this sort of navigation game, we're also hiding things in there. So we're building in some collection mechanics to help with replayability. And once you finish a chapter, you'll actually collect the creature for that chapter, and that will go into your inventory and your collectibles. One thing that we found is really important is onboarding. So once people have learned this slingshot mechanic, there's two things they need to learn. One is how you control the little character, and the other is you have to actually walk around. So two interesting things happened when we were user testing. The first one was we said, OK, place the Orbu on the table. Right? One person got the phone, put it on the table. It's like, yeah, OK, we've learned something. We didn't mean that. So teaching them those basics. And then the other is some people say, how do I make it bigger and smaller? And it's like, well, you just walk around. So those are very important. Also, replay is very important for us because we can see this could be a content furnace. And rather than making an infinite number of levels, we want to reuse the assets by putting more and more challenges and secret things in there. And we think that will get a community excited because they can find new and different things. And so we're building these different challenges in as well. So, for example, can you play the whole game without touching the sides or something like that? So this is coming out in 2 or 3 weeks. We were very fortunate that we got to demo this to Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, and we spent some time doing some press with him. And it was great to get his thoughts and to share our kind of vision for AR. So for me, I think that AR will not just be some cool games. It will not just be about some products that I can learn about. It will touch our lives moving forward for everyone forever, because that's how we're going to start taking in information about the world. And so I see this as a very disruptive technology with a huge install base from the beginning. And so I think that's something I'm very excited about. I hope everybody else will be. And now I'm going to bring a good friend of mine, Maria, on, who's doing a panel tomorrow, by the way, on VR. And she's going to do a demo of Orbu. So we're going to switch this to the live demo of the screen. Fingers crossed. Here we go. OK, so she's going to set up on this play area. We don't have the sound, unfortunately. It's very, very relaxing. OK, so she's setting the play size now. Well, it's a bit of a dodgy feed. OK, that's it. The game doesn't do that. It's the video feed. All right, so we're in the menus. This is the first level. And as you can see, we can look around. Just go and have a look. This little guy is called a Tanuki. So you can fire him. That's it. OK, it's settled down now. Now we've got a bridge. So we're going to fire him over a bridge. There he is. He's very cute. And we have, for each chapter, there's a different character. Now, Maria used to hang out in a lot of pool rooms playing pool. And so she's an expert at playing snooker and pool. And she's going to snooker or pull that food in. And look, fish are all happy. So that's kind of one of the secondary objectives of playing it. And then here's some more bridges. Got some more food, some more feeding going on. So apologies for the lines going across the screen. I think that's something to do with the number of leads we've got getting it to the screen. And there's one more we're going to show you. That's this one. So you can see the detail that we've put in, and it's so cool. Sometimes we take this out. We've got a garden behind our offices, and it's really cool how the trees and so on will blend in with real trees. And we're also going to develop a pass and play. So with one phone, Maria can shoot her Orbu, then I can shoot mine, and so on. So we're very excited about this. It's coming out in about 3 weeks on iOS. All right, let's see if we can get these ones in. Oh, yes, well done. So the interesting thing for me about using ARkit is that when I worked in AR 10, 12 years ago, you needed loads of extra technology to make it work. So you needed a camera to plug into your console. You'd have to blue tack the camera on top of the TV. You might need to use some markers to put on the ground or some special controllers. But with ARkit, it just works. It just finds the floor plane for you, and then you can build off that. And for people who've been in this for a long time, like myself, that's a huge win. You know, we can focus our efforts on making this game. If I'd set up the company to do this without ARkit, we'd have probably had 2 years of engineers just getting the tech to work and then build a game on top. And from a business commercial perspective, that would have been incredibly risky. Whereas working with ARkit, we started looking at this in August. And it's now November, and we're releasing in 3 weeks. So it's been a pretty short development time to get something that's a very compelling game. OK, this one's quite cool because you get to go down on the floor. So let's just have a look. Yeah, so you don't want to go too... Oh, you've gone down. So you missed feeding the fish there, Maria. OK. Oh, but you got those fish. Nice. So... OK, let's have a look. So one of the other things I just want to show you, can you get to those rocks? So if you go to the beach and there's a load of rocks balanced, personally, like that, I always want to knock them over, but obviously that would be evil. So we've got that in this game. You knock it, and that knocks the food in to feed the fish. We've also got slopes like this, which are incredibly hard to get up. But what we find is it's a very compelling and addictive game. Here we go. OK. So we're going to use this game as our kind of, I guess, a piece of R&D for us. We're going to put it out, find what people like, find what people don't like, learn how people want to interact with AR on a handset, and then build and build and build. So we'll build a community around this. We'll keep it going with challenges and so on. But we're also going to use the learning to build new products, because I think that people will engage with this more and more. And I see that AR will teach us so much about the world around us. So as we build AR with AI in mind, we'll start to understand not just where the floor is, but what a chair is, what a table, what other things in the room are, so that with AR, for example, I could just point at a cup and we'll know through AI that that's a cup. We'll already have recognition of that. And then we can blend and amplify our normal world with different AI components. OK, and I think with that, is there any more you want to show? You want to show this last level, do you? OK, so this one has some gongs in it. You have to hit the gongs, and then these different pieces of the pathway start to rise. We've got the second one. And then we're going to just get the third one. Did you get it? We've got 1 minute left. Oh, so close. Oh, it's not quite finished. Collision bug. OK, and there we go. All right, with that, we're going to finish. Thank you very much. What I would just say to end on is I think AR is going to be of huge importance in the digital world moving forward. And so I'd recommend that you all take a look at it and see how it might help amplify your businesses. Thank you very much.